relying on Order 143. Quote, whenever a motion that this House approves the financial policy of government for the year is moved by the minister responsible for finance, the debate on it shall stand adjourned for not less than 3 days. Mr. Speaker, we are more than ready. And although the minority leader knew about this, he decided to do what he wanted to do for whatever purpose he so desired. But Mr. Speaker, this is a man, Dr. Atufosi, who was a deputy. Mr. Speaker, this is the same Dr. Atufosi, Deputy Majority Leader. Just to honorable members, please. The reference to this is a man is an honorable colleague. So please refer to him as that, not this is a man. Mr. Speaker, the honorable minority leader is the same honorable member of parliament who was a deputy minister of finance when the economy was in its worst state. Mr. Speaker, this is the same Dr. Atufosi who was a deputy finance minister who even without COVID could not, with his boss, the finance minister, and their government, implement the free SHS. This is the same Dr. Atufosi. Mr. Speaker, if today this government has implemented free SHS successfully, and Mr. Speaker, today the figures bear us out. We have a transition enrollment rate of over 80% as compared to the 55% in your era. And today, because of the liberties of opposition, you are telling the honorable finance minister that he has underperformed when your own administration had the worst performance at all. Let me assure you that the figures cannot be toyed with. Dr. Atufosi, let me remind you that your government could not implement a single landing beach project. You came into this house with a loan. You chickened out and you came to do capping. This government has successfully heard the cries of the fishermen, and we have constructed 12 landing beach sites. You come from the central region. You've not been able to do that for the people of central region. And you are telling him that he has underperformed. Hey, at all. Hey, Dr. Fosse. Hey, at all. Are you saying that you as a deputy finance minister, you did better than Kenofoyata? Is that what you are saying? Mr. Speaker, in the same NDC, with its old men, they have no more card to play. They played their only joker on the scorecard. And today, you tell us that this economy is in its worst state. It was worse with all that we've experienced on the COVID, with all that we've experienced on the global space. We have managed to keep the lights on. You inherited Kunso under you. We inherited a situation where children could not go to secondary schools. And Mr. Speaker, we are ready for you today, tomorrow, any other day. Mr. Speaker, I thank you so much indeed. members, honorable members, honorable members.
Mr. Speaker, let me say that this particular budget is the true definition of an empty budget. Clearly, Mr. Speaker, the NPP government has said bye-bye to the people of Ghana. This budget is insensitive and out of touch. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Minister, you and members of the economic management team,
Abononson apahonsima aduonu democracy jumade ne yade brew eye ene enwumbre ewo Kessben kase fidie eso 18th of November 2023. On the 15th of November, na Minister of Finance Okomra Shebedwem sene embra ewo Ghana echre na ode Ghana yenhyehyeye yesika yebeje ene kwan yebefa so yebedi no 2024 aye election year na budget ode kodom eye embrahye bedwafo na watu ne din enkunim budget ensamben ene hyehyɛ saa enkunim budget mu anwumbrei na minority a wo embrahye bedwam enso esusu se budget we bye budget eche se budget a de NPP eco opposition wana wosua economics and finance key highlights of 2024 budget no was saying enwumbre ebadwafo etnase ewo democracy ejumade esue yebehwe se budget 2024 said the Minister of Finance odokoto embrahye badwafo enim no ensemben ene hyehyemu na poso san ene munsem etie den sunsaya ewo edema ejumayefo etisen den sunsaya ewo edema wona wodidwa etisen ensunsaya ewo edema wona woko school wona wo kirade ene won soso a woko didwa ewo amanone ede bagana ne nyina san ena etie enwumbre ewo democracy jumadi so yebehwe na yatoato adwen ede afa homedin ede Ohene Gyan. Thank you, and I'll say thank you to enwumbre enwumre abadwafo a betra se na yedi dwuma ewo sa budgeti ene ho ensensem ene fetch ene economic intelligence unit for so predictions a wodi aba ne ho nsem no sen ena etie ye betra se enwumre ya pensem sansem na wagenkyere ususuye ene wasembisa nso wo de ba yakenkan amawiase afana nyina ensoso ate yesha dwumade ase yenko eye Ministry of Finance won hyehyɛ a wɔyɛ ya wɔde kɔto eye mbrahye badwafo enim on the 15th of this month yenkotie ensema Minister of Finance okaye ewo saa budgeti ho on tax reliefs a budgeti ehyehyɛ mu yenko na yenkotie yenkowe saa video wi.
Mr. Speaker, tax reliefs. Our approach to tax policy since 2017 was to give significant relief to the private sector until expenditure pressures from 2020 required a more aggressive approach. It is important to note that in the short term, fiscal sustainability requires that we improve our tax ratios significantly, otherwise our long-term competitiveness will be eroded. As we all know, our country's 13% tax to GDP ratio is far below our peers. Our target is 18 to 20%, and we are on course for 16%, hoping to be achieved this year. In that regard, it is difficult to implement all the structural reforms and tax reliefs needed to immediately lower and or eliminate certain tax handles. However, I assure this august House that we have heard, we believe in lower taxes as a government for industry, and we are working at this aggressively with the GRA and to be cemented with the Standing Committee of the Mutual Prosperity Dialogue. Mr. Speaker, further to the above, the following reliefs have been prioritized for implementation. To extend, Mr. Speaker, the zero rate of VAT on locally manufactured African prints for 2 more years. Mr. Speaker, to waive import duties on import of electric vehicles for public transportation for a period of 8 years. Mr. Speaker, to waive import duties on semi-knocked down and completely knocked down electric vehicles imported by registered EV assembly companies in Ghana for a period of 8 years. Mr. Speaker, to extend zero rate of VAT on locally assembled vehicles for 2 more years. Mr. Speaker, to zero rate VAT on locally produced sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, to grant import duty waivers for raw materials for the local manufacture of sanitary pads. Mr. Speaker, to grant exemptions on the importation of agricultural machinery equipment and inputs and medical consumables, raw materials for the pharmaceutical industry. Mr. Speaker, a VAT flat rate of 5% to replace the 15% standard VAT rate on all commercial properties will be introduced to simplify administration. To address the negative externalities of plastic waste and pollution, government will review and expand the environmental excise duty to cover plastic packaging and industrial and vehicle emissions.
Minister of Finance and the budget and one should say to embrace bedwafo enim ewo 15th of November 2024 budget. Yenko da yenko tie atofo sensema okan edefa sa budget ho na yentie nya afenyo markings ensuso kan deputy minority majority leader onsuso okaye enen ya atoforcing a minority leader ensuso ekaye on the budget yenti atoforcing.
Mr. Speaker, let me say that this particular budget is the true definition of an empty budget. Clearly, Mr. Speaker, the NPP government has said bye-bye to the people of Ghana. This budget is insensitive and out of touch. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Minister, you and members of the economic management team, led by our Vice President, you are leaving behind a bankrupt economy.
Honorable Minority Leader, address the chair.
Mr. Speaker, it is important for us to note that this government is leaving behind a bankrupt economy. This government is leaving behind a default economy, or in other words, yentia economy. Mr. Speaker, this government is leaving behind a budget that is debt-riddled. It's leaving behind an economy that is overtaxed. You are leaving behind an economy that is seeing hyperinflation. You are leaving behind an economy that is seeing high food inflation. And you are leaving behind an economy that is seeing high monetary policy rate. As if that is not enough, Mr. Speaker, this government is leaving behind an economy with high lending rate. You are again leaving behind an economy with high unemployment rate. Mr. Speaker, as if again that is not enough, you are leaving behind a misery index that has never been witnessed in this fourth republic. In fact, you are leaving behind a misery economy. In other words, a witchery economy. Mr. Speaker, to conclude on this matter, let me say that they are also leaving behind an economy where we are seeing massive and uncontrolled corruption according to the Bishop Conference. Mr. Speaker, this is the scorecard of this government. This is the legacy they are leaving behind. And so most importantly, I'm not surprised that today, you are here reading the budget alone. Where is the governor of the Bank of Ghana? Nowhere. Where is the vice president? Nowhere. But let me say, they cannot abandon you. You did this with them. And so they are the faces of destruction, and you are part of it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, Mr. Minister. Bye-bye, MPP. Then here, this is your scorecard. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
That was Honorable Atoforsen, Minority Leader. After the presentation of the budget, the response I buy enono. Now, Yanko T Honorable Afenyo Markins, they are also so kind Deputy Majority Leader, Efa Atoforsen Samo Kayano.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, we on this side heard you loud and clear. And relying on Order 143. Quote, whenever a motion that this House approves the financial policy of government for the year is moved by the minister responsible for finance, the debate on it shall stand adjourned for not less than 3 days. Mr. Speaker, we are more than ready. And although the minority leader knew about this, he decided to do what he wanted to do for whatever purpose he so desired. But Mr. Speaker, this is the man, Dr. Atoforsen, who was a deputy. Deputy Majority Leader, just to honorable members, please, the reference to
this is a man. He's an honorable colleague. So please refer to him as that, not this is a man.
The honorable minority leader is the same honorable member of parliament who was a deputy minister of finance when the economy was in its worst state. Mr. Speaker, this is the same Dr. Atufosi who was a deputy finance minister who even without COVID could not, with his boss, the finance minister, and their government, implement the free SHS. This is the same Dr. Atufosi. Mr. Speaker, if today this government has implemented free SHS successfully, and Mr. Speaker, today the figures bear us out. We have a transition enrollment rate of over 80% as compared to the 55% in your era. And today, because of the liberties of opposition, you are telling the honorable finance minister that he has underperformed when your own administration had the worst performance out of us. Let me assure you that the figures cannot be toyed with. Dr. Atufosi, let me remind you that your government could not implement a single landing bridge project. You came into this house with a loan. You chickened out and you came to do capping. This government has successfully heard the cries of the fishermen, and we have constructed 12 landing bridge sites. You come from the central region. You've not been able to do that for the people of central region. And you are telling him that he has underperformed. Hey, at all. Hey, Dr. Fosse. Hey, at all. Are you saying that you as a deputy finance minister, you did better than Kenokoyata? Is that what you are saying? Mr. Speaker, in the same NDC, with its old men, they have no more card to play. They played their only joker on the scorecard. And today, you tell us that this economy is in its worst state. It was worse with all that we've experienced under COVID, with all that we've experienced on the global space. We have managed to keep the lights on. You inherited Kunso under you. We inherited a situation where children could not go to secondary schools. And Mr. Speaker, we are ready for you today, tomorrow, any other day. Mr. Speaker, I thank you so much indeed.
Well, after the presentation of the budget, encounter a coso, Brashebedram and Norway opening remarks. So a drew debate na kasa ye hwenim seden ene bepi ede efri ho. Enkunim versus bye bye ni nyina equation no eyeden enwumbre abadwafo atnase ye behwe na ya pensem budget the key highlights of the 2024 budget for people of Ghana ye betie na ya hwesesa budget ne sunsanso ewo edemaye no sen ena etie enwumbre abadwafo atnase. Mr. P.V. Gyan Boateng Daxon, former presidential staffer under the President John Dramani Mahama and former President John Evans Atamils Awaha Enyumbre. Dr. Enoch Achampon, a senior lecturer, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology Awaha Enyumbre. Eric Oche for government spokesperson on the economy and Chakraensa Ebekano Ewa Professor Smart Sapon, Director of Research, Innovation and Development, Kumasi Technical University, will also be here. Now, Yatwa to Adwin, Edafa 2024 budget Sene Medicain. Okay, but ansana no, and then you bray, and a free air. Ewiano kra Ghana for Dudwana no Eco Heroes Park. Yeko jam former president His Excellency John Ajekum Kufuor Emma Yeko the final funeral rites Edija Her Excellency the former First Lady Teresa Kufuor and nana ye ne ye twato kra ye dedano yawadano ewo enkran ena na ye eyi na etwato kra enti Ghana for dodo na no ekosia Heroes Park ewie ekoye sa eyi no. Now next week you see next week up roads no nyina no Ghana for dodo na this Ghana this year and Ghana mpanyin for dodo na de won ani ebe kire brekum yeka brekuma na ye nyina no atise brekum manhene wakwekura brekum manhene wakwekura enti brekum manhene akwekura na openso nyankwada oseitu ababio ena na dehye wakwekura enti openso ebeko brekum yawada ebe na wakohye na watiesi brekum manhina wakwekura na chikra enti yawada efrijuada esase efrijuada wode no beto empem juada brada ukuada yawada eno penso enene dom na meka doma meka akosise nana ba achamfo asante asokore abusua penyi obeko brekum nana ama kunedu ya domatoso emienu ya asante hima ebeko brekum nana susubribi krobia asante asante asokore hene obeko brekum nana brakatu ya asante asokore hima obeko brekum nana buachi ansa debra asante asokore mampon hene obeko brekum osabari ma asare ankoma buama otoso miensa asante asokore krunti hene ono nso so ebeko brekum osabari ma kire ye buadate a otoso emienu ono na ye acting president brekum traditional council ono na obeji ahoho a mpanyimfo atitru ahemfo atitru a opemso otumfo say to ababio one won ebeko brekun obeji won awa tu na nana akosia amia hene a otoso miensa eno ye brekum hima ono obetina dwem na ono nsoso ne na hemfo ne na hema wahwe na yakrakra brekum mahine ichikra enti efri juada ekosi yawada de dache se enya asem ketwa ewo brekum eno ane se onim se brekum asokore ekona enti ekona de hye pa ena wakwekrai enti enya asam ketwa kra frijuada ekosi yawada adofo nyina edwani be kire brekum na yakohye na yakrakra the late Leo Ofori na oye brekum mahine SCC ne chikra Dr. Enoch Achampo menwajo
ya lawyer
nabom to say
lawyer nyame adom bibia boko yisha na ache abusianfo ho ye bibia boko yisha na ache kakra bibia boko
okay
Yɛbɛfa akonya yi so na yɛakyɛ abusuafo a ɔmohwɛ yɛn
be microphone no kakra ma me
yɛbɛfa akonya yi so na yɛakyea abusuafo ɔmohwɛ yɛn da bia sɛ deɛ meba a meka no mekɔ me kurom adanse asɔkwa adanse aboabo ne adanse bɔgyesango ɛhɔ na me two families no efiri bi firi bɔgyesango ebi firi aboabo ayɛwɔ adanse asɔkwa mention mu nti mɛkyea obi bia ɔhwɛ yɛn anwummerɛ na yada omase na lawyer menya akwanya yi de me opening remarks yi de me de adesrede na eto mpanimfo anim sese omo ehwe ye ne a omo wayen madanse asokwa nse wotwam wo main road no mu a obeka say ye ni how because eye Cape Coast road no enti se wuduru honom na wotwam a fani odubia ase akode a obeka say ye ni how but you will help
kwan ho ana
kwan ye roads we see a district ni nyina ye secondary school ba akopɛ ɛwɔ Bɔgyesango senior friend Bɔgyesango senior secondary school Bɔgyesango senior high na kurobi ho friend Agenkwaso udu Agenkwaso na akɔ Bɔgyesango na just 2 kilometers na senior sisi ankwara ewie BC ya omo resource be posting. So one she near the Akure be to Bɔgyesango senior high just 2 kilometer road no ɔwofo bi fa kwan no so ko school mo hono ma oba anhwe obesa yi ne ba free school ma ko pay school foforo e de ama ne ba nti ebesere mpanimfo se omo hwe ye ne adanse asokwa adanse Bɔgyesango kwan no omo hwe ema yen na udu kwadwo nkwanta nso a kwan no nse yen hono no adanse area no enka yen na emu a utimi kosi obo ase connected na ye kwan ba ko a ewo sempanimfo boaye pa ene meka kwan miensa na majade etoso mienu no ye kwadwo nkwanta fa ko sisikaman nkuro na toto aso mensa krom na okobia kwaso na wato amu a na nka wako sisikaman no wasi oboase adanse akrofrom na minim die ntia lawyer ebi amoka yi die mu betimi die afaso na obi oyusu salonti ama adanse asokwa abasa nkuro ni nyina bebre na sese okada adwuma na ekoso cars intimi imply roads no timpanimfo moaye last road America from adanse aboabo number 2 mi krom ekwa akosi adanse anomabo utra anomabo penwesi onabo kwadwo opon enkroma constituency ofuase ayerebi adanse asokwa ye ne wom na ehye boundary na ekwan yefiri aboabo ekosi saa anomabo no sinya sa oka afa so a obana bi the last time I me fa honom yakoba me bi gina mazin biwie na maboka almost 3000 nti mesere mpanimfo se saa kwan no contractor mo de man ye se efre no atachi contractor ni din no atachi oye akwan ne nkro ni bi gates oye gates ni bia wie ya wasesa ne nyoma nyina akọ wansisu bi almost 1 year create twam akọ 2 years ni contractor na abandon roads no my last issue rural telephony project 2020 before the election government in Krobi to say nyankomase nkonsa saponso apia nkwanta nsokote ena anomabo government kusisi rural telephonies no post ni sisi ono mo a omo sisi ni nyina wi from layman's perspective media sa na meka no ebia na bibi fufuro bi wo ha o so omo ye but still connection intimi mae inti mesere mpanimfo se omo yen na sankura amabobo so ewo adanse asokwa ya kwan ne ye rural telephonies no omo yen no omo connect mae because post no masisi awi o lawyer minim say bia bibi fufuro bi wo hode a mesere mpanimfo so omo yen ensa dansa ye mane modern Ghana technology bibia communication no omo ntimi ntwantomu ema abusuafo wo sankuro ni mu no na omutime boa wo mo nso wohia obi a ofa afo a na wafre no lawyer ntime open remarks no eno dia me focus wo me me krom na dia meka no
Rose asem na can say me bompa yes president me sure say wa nko ukuada obekọ ya wada obekọ brekum okwa nka one minister of roads onko jano na one minister of roads ekojana na nka omukodru brekum na enka omo kwa kochia council of state member na omo former IGP the baby out no komo kochia no ne baby a ohima na ankasa oti no saa kwan no so kakra bi nka ko twa CV o saa kwan no so kakra bi
nka be yode
brekum for how pa brekum ina rose no me gidi ye pa se omukofa ho kakra na eko hima ho na se eko na former IGP na no usunsia fie ho no ho kakra na wo de
omumfa ho kakẹ
omuma na no usunsia anye se ne ho dodo ne ho
fa omumachia no
omunkochia no na nka omunkofa ho keke enke brekumfo ani beji pa I hope say omunkochia na things will change
ne brekumfo anye sa adwuma no nto na omunkochia no keke mayen
okay and this is maka from Monday to Thursday no rules no nyina e kobrekum yesa ne anim no da sebre amankrande wato sumienu awanya ne baby crow ko na de hye pa nya ne baby crow akopɛ ne chi kra bibi me mo akwa
mejusu
na mbom ti sen
yakupanda roma me hoye
de bia why abrantie me hoye de bia why abrantie
lawyer mama me offer so ne birthday
okay
friend Justina Adobia o aso ase ne mama ye sister Kua ne papa ye jeje Justina me ma otri nkwa yankopon mo ho ban na wo hwe wo so
de waka Adobia now the Justina be ye na Eric hwe me nim se me kan de Mudi Eric Enoch smart P chese abrofu din kwa na ifriwe
minya kamesa because
me come dey akrewa
me ma me wunyina me se me ntu bi abrofu
me kan na atamfo start afafo no obo tese bra na abeje de obekan
smart in the mode you smart or size smart
obeba de
yeah so nobody out no dey buffers Eric Oche Bafo a government spokesperson on economy memo akwaba
lawyer
na bom to say
chijam pumba se yado madaroma we na mozo
yo
to ga che lawyer
yo
zizi o yi mu a
wa yi mu se se unim se ma chariza de
fat
oje ahoho the way na otie nti wo hwe do Ghana pa I show de akire ekire say wo te ho a na de a wo be ye wa asasi so no wo free ba e da hu say na manfo because our former president gentle giant pa wa ye mbra and say be my mbra na de
no matter what it is
yangopo ma enshane de
yes a year dey idea I mean emu yeah so ba on na tena for so many years I mean years decades now all of a sudden that ko weja hono ko I mean who ni bi
no but the cross so say drew baby a na ye be pempo say obi a ye dono no on TTP na obeko na because drew baby na dipa no age drew level bi na hwe oha nso so a okom ne atete a na okoya na ka relief
yes and them no yeah
so sometimes yeah na relief anti dipa no kokra say you be try jajo na ye na ye we no na ye say we depart into glory anti na precisely
but say lawyer say well no you partner for so many years so we me have anything now that group na say
o da zamu nyimba
akoya so say obi na kan na say pande nkokwa o say pande hospital pande nkokwa o ye den je say the wo out to say and found we so
it's not easy
it's not easy you know da Ghana fu nyina so ase odo a o mo be dan di e de kire papa kofo ene na busu asante ni nyina fa Ghana fu a kire do say you see here no ene nyina na e ho so hwe de wi a yeah ma kanyoma be kire me say de na usi ka no en na be kire usu oban say de usi de kire o asase so say be nye where wa hand bia wa hand time bi ni nyoma bia be but your human relation with people no ena ebe kire say de usu en usu ban I believe say we na ekoye no e de akasa kire ama se wo tibias na wabra bo no bo ni ha with the menko me I believe say we na aba no wa no otwa de be check ho hu say obi adan obi asasi so.
Okay, so straight away budget 2024 Nkunim versus bye budget Ghana for say din da so no ense da nye won one excited about din ide to so number there's in terms of substance ne so e wo edema etisen titi no na akwasi botwe obekan ne budget a no bia ekope TV ana radio because budget um na ebebo milk say na obeto no kerosene send ya ubeto no petrol send ya ubeto no bills a ubetua any bibia ene ye kan budget kra man for mpo enche da entie because onim say budget or no budget life goes on but budget no so because if free January econo enema e wo budget no ye sha say ye implement here and I'll be who say e won nsunsuanso bi e de 2024 budget e den na wom na Sunday ma e wom no ne sunsuanso e wo de man no et se mensha ase free Dr. Enoch Achampong enchen a senior lecturer Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology membisa say budget no ne impression about the 2024 budget no na it is and don't forget say we and your first budget yeah yedi ehun kodom IMF no your first budget and it's our budget we so na the last budget of His Excellency President Akufo-Addo and then the finance minister one last budget for this term and okokan no na anu so from January to sometime November hobabi 2024 no sa budget we and na bibia nsacha wo ma ye de bedi djuma e wo Ghana enti mimbisa Dr. Enoch Achampong impression about 2024 budget.
Lawyer medase bibia said the edin kan achia no budget metimi akenkan mu bebre I think said the a CTN would in kind my overview of previous years and now make a projection into 2024. And he said the BBA Yinina Eco School make a report we need to report what has happened in the past. Now I share what we were able to achieve. Baby kakra na me hunu say enkana also need more information. One some of the things that were said in 2022 prior to reading 2023 budget. And your ma omoka say government ka say obetimi aye. Na 2023 no esi no. Nanka me pese enka eho no nso omutimi take time ma eno says oh ye ka say ye be ye ABCD sector by sector. We na yaye na we na yentumi anye so ye de koka 2024 budget ne ho na ama ye hunu no we batun say utimi ka say over the years no oma akọ back to 2022 2023 na ede no abeka ho nti you wouldn't be able to clearly see gaba a bar 2023 projection ni mu what ebiaman say shortfall intimi and capture intimi be enemy first way now baby am person me focus on there be am me say me menye economist in the sometimes some of these terminologies ni figures no na me pese me komu bebre because obia ni ho a knowledge in all fields but I mean baby am person me focus on social spending. What kind budget now? I think say paragraph starting from paragraph 152 social spending. The first paragraph no talks about free SHS and TVET. Now last we now I can say I say in 2024 the implementation of this transformative initiative will continue. Nanka mes ehono mesre say enka ebia ebehunu say 2024 how much unso oka amount 2023 spend ohwe ho na o ka amount I spending in 2023 on these projects, but 2024 the only statement say in 2024 the implementation of this transformative initiative will continue. That is paragraph 153. Intina kami me pese enka amount ye be dedicate ediama this project and as programs no enka clearly na ya state meme de lawyer per baby a mimi free eba platform bi a menye bi a meka me say mimi wi JHS no ohia ntimete na afie 2 years kide bia baby a menye bia meka devoid of political affiliations ni bibia baby a mejina bia meka one of the programs a enka yebetimi a oman yi sika bibre na yemfa nko free education ni mu na yenhwe hoye because mi wi JHS me tena few 2 years me nyanyame anka manko school enkwara ni bebre wo nkuro nkitwa ni mu a ohia enti wo mutifie enti sa project program we ni sa aban program flagship program we no yemmodin na yemfa resources bebre enko se ne be ya nkwara wo mutifie a ohia enti omuntimi nko school no sese na yete as oman ne de unse da bia ye kan ye se oman ni mu ayedene obie ni ho a yete he lawyer minim se bia wo ma minim o man fie o maduro de bia obie ni ho a wo hwe school a obefa no easy uhwe school nkwa de a obebre
there this year crampo there the way na school no ye bue no na ya close no ye bue na to say this from January up to end of this year school fees are akono
wow show what him say yes as individual how school how bebre the same way as on mine say hwe mofra school a e wo say dey to yetrim say ye bebre but benefit na e beba no enye sesi ye me tama na me boshu shine won kran ni ade na obi nim say daachi bi me be school and here I am today metimi akwa an na mu akwa ye PhD mete ha in the next 10-15 years some mofra na oman de yesika ehwe wo mo no some mofra no 10-15 years time ni benya ho mfa so intimi de me say finance minister some of the ministry afena ye be hu ebia senior wa okasama aban de be hu specific spending for the some of the ministries enke betimi a omonte so ministries ni bi ohonoma sanitation ministry for instance mimi say de bia amaka me say sanitation ministry no kebe ya ontwam railway any transport enke betimi a omomagi ni nyina fisheries ministry so omfa nko agriculture ho some of the spending omunyi sika no mfamra free education because some of these ministries wo madwuma wo ye na duplication omfa sika no mra ni emfa mehwe Ghana nkwara emfa ho ne de obi abeka. That is how I see it. Now the next issue on the budget me pese me kan ho asem roads infrastructure, which is paragraph 159 urban infrastructure. Ebobo projects ni bebre omo ehya ase omo enwi na omo beto aso de na nka me expect from me layman's perspective ne say go through and can see a me who say in 2023 you can say these projects no, this is how much I be committed to. Now 2024 going into it you drop this percentage how much na ya spend say na kana say na be hia sade aka ho. That is how I see it. Ntinka enona ba uridi ana watimi ahunu.
Yamle na we no summary ayo
the full speech
the full no the full even the full speech ya na behind the full speech no omo analysis ne we na ya na does like
me summary no so ho no ba me bie full speech no na me picking one by one. The next one me person me kan rural telephony. Me say me hwe social spending no because of some of us baby ye free senior the obeki can the economic other ones no but me hwe social spending me be ma ahiafo ho ahiha wo mo ho na me pese me focus on because me free him nti bibia ni a me hwe ni a ebetimi aboa ahiafo. Now rural telephony ama number of rural telephone communities any omo musisi oba encroni bebre ohonom a omo sisi ye won me introduction we no kra me kan mesre say omo ntwen ema yengura 2024 election year ansana omako connect these communities as a bus session of obufu uhuni say o de ya be penny vote into communities are almost 2020. Most of these communities, maybe area communities are most of them 2020 election erected these posts up to date post nisisi ho.
Okay.
Omuntimi connect ye best say 2024 massa capture our budget in mudia. It should be one of the projects on the first quarter.
Okay.
It shouldn't go beyond it. It drew sir. Why you dear betting for appreciate it.
Okay.
It shouldn't get close to election. And some of these things why
my implement.
Intimate me who is a budget no per social spending no economy. One free education or my capture. But message say or more enshemu kena ye. My last issue a basic education lawyer. O share we na or can capitation grant or can school feeding program or budget anymore. But I did not see clear cut intervention say yeah they bois basic education in terms of infrastructure. Here senior oko enkron ketwa ni mu a school bi ho basic school bi ho na okohu a ubisa ho senti we nkwara akomu school. So we teacher ni na we teacher training college ni post we ko say akro no so a one hwe ya wani bo school no so a obesa akopɛ transfer. Attention it appears to me say most of our attention no core free education STEM very good but basic you know and so any foundation say yanya basic ni ye na yan improve honomo a na superstructure na edisi we ni so no enya hoden bia hwe ukọ adanse asokwa da bia me use me chrome because ukrom de unya clear example ukọ adanse asokwa district a ye ukro bi o friend no krobo and they should tell you ni enkwara nkofo a ete say chrome ho amano chrome krobo udru ho ne hwe classroom a nkwara ne te wa ede ntabo ne nchansen agege ho a then you ask yourself so udru o konsokota ye okrobi ho efre ni brinya ene sakite in between school da ni sikwa ho udru ho na obusa on senti nkwara we teacher ni ne kra oto kra no onye motivated enna wakoha akokyera de wo fa bia kwaso road ho no mo na mensa krom ene nyame be krobi hye ho no so udru na hwe classroom a nkwara ne
so ye ma ni nko basic
ho ye ni nko basic no so ye because me o budget and social spending ho na men shede hu ebia na senior be
intervention specific intervention at the basic maybe that's we'll come back to that now. You are not the first person I was first concerned about basic no say my ninko basic one but because intervention I also at the senior high level the TV structures and all that basic I was say they
have been neglected.
Well, neglected may be a stronger word, but maybe I attention call more. Maybe that's a doctor in Doka Champion. I come back to you. Menko Eric Oche Bafo na PV Jantua. Minim says we a com center biwo a ho and I said we go center. Oche Bafo.
Strategy.
Okay. Now, you're one hour casa by FI economics sense. Budget here, finance minister, the Kotum Rasha for and was saying Kunim budget here, then the money here in Kunim budget.
Yeah, lawyer, fa kwenye na ibio menchia ubibia samri odene fidi ato mo fidi kese so oti mu no hwe mu so free a chirichiri benche titro bi koma otekoko so na daruma ene ye mu bianya ada kwan a eba betena na sase so a ye kasa na ba bia obi a wonkwa so na adwuma ekofa bai onso na daruma intina ya so enya kwan ya ba betena ha ebi so si so na me am ho kani na me boss o say honey I'll drive you there be no me dey cry na buy
oh okay
obi jame obi am sham yes lawyer o share budget ya e buy ya na say odin kan akra kan say previously say be kinka budget a bia ya alert say DNA ba DNA ko DNA ba but ene ababe dru say ya baba beti say de enkotabu esitie nti se wuni ho no kra na say de radio ene to ateshi obi timi tena se ekirikiri mu bia so timi etena na o hwe budget ye ba ya nioma bibre na globally aba challenges obia no face na aban no so etena ase yese nioma ben no se me ya at least meet me atoto asoso so nioma bi so ano se de be ya atema muanfo so ho were ebetimi ato mu endina ma aban no tu ni din se include budget now lawyer o share oman bia ade a ye de chichiro man yi pa no eto tax na ka tax no ka ebre yi wo mu no o he globally a ewiase akese omo komani pa na nese no kwa tax akese eno mu ye dey eje isan say eno ne the only remedy a aban no betimi aye na ode achichiri kru no idi some of us grant abra na budget ne ba omo frɛ ye maija yenya ho akonya bia ye kotena ho bia ye ko bebu mu kakra no fact ye hunu se enioma bu aban no class ya tete so no na technically uhemu a wono ye say no okwo Bretton Woods institution ya IMF ICA no call for extended credit facility inti ho na awo no untimi nko capital market ana say money market say okwo no akwa de akudidwa ka first and ka Ghana betimi issue bond na akudidwa say de obetimi anya sika kakra de aba no and because of the program awoko inti no untimi enko adwama so enko ton o bond na de aba adaba be support o budget so the only remedy ya na nka betimi aboa pa no tax ene betimi aso mu betimi aye na ni hedwene ho ase enti sa tax by benetimi yi ni o mani be free so no how would government going to implement his program and policy me de sena doc can say bi da bia me kan se mu ya na me re aho me kai say abra me wie JHS na me be call SS lawyer kotia mas me din bo me na wofo am no mu wie JHS ni obia when are you coming to school so me ba nyese me ba ne me na me nku sika ne bi ni ho da bia me kan I stayed home for 1 month 2 weeks those times now you move you be the golden only 2 years so those times we did golden jubilee I just say I'm on for digidi the fortunate for me na me uncle be obi we oba bebu say na matese yeso watwa na utifio ye den yesis kasem no aye ya obo bosia I remember obo bosia odikutu ya fisa ene chiba for timi abetna ha mesimiti kasa ma aban wo economy ne finance we na ye dwindwu hu nyina no lawyer wo hwe budget baya there is not a single program of government programs and policy aban ne dey etwemu anaso abolish ye me de okay see free SHS one dey as a doctor when he's an academician o shade ko akiri PhD or tizo trade usu apomo ewo hunu emfaso a ewo education lawyer nem wo no ma na madam fo ba ko frame o si chei me betwa e say na yewe wo no opokuare obinya wo enya single number but sika me de beto chobos me de beto milu me de beto we no kra na chei edin say to myself of me jina hodin na my wife will say che ade nam say untia asema eni pass me si frame me awoka nye so onugo onne ne yire we kasa kakra no na ne yire so je phone no onso kasa kakra tim ye din tim ribu sam say ade nam say asem say na eni pass me si frame me awoka for say free SHC pa ye ka ho asema ene bi mu nama a review ye drum rebi kura no yanom se ka ye nkwan de ye spend this sika we emfa kwa free SHC e betwam ene free SHC na bawo enipa na nya kwan se onko ye mano school uniform free odidi free books ni nyoma free bibia free na de kakra na ode to gari milo ene ye akono eno kra na de lawyer
o kan gari am no ya adwen na wo niska milo de milo de ho azama na okay
lawyer men kale say
milo
sano no ni na kan obi
milo
so be plan dem man fa bi kra nkokra dada me gari na she toni aye she so lawyer and as someone we can me wife for tradia we teacher ni o si enti sa ade we ya manyofo bi na me drum na bie ye ntwam ye ni say omudo review ni dey say ntwam because when they say review we say ye ntwam
and you focus on the 2024 budget
me can be so because we say ade government program when ntwam is part of the budget me the lawyer can doctor can be about the capitation grant no money one of the strategy abino yet to induce can I say crowd mumpeso mu be school no o me school akope mu adi wonu nani na mu an obo nso akọ discover the talent no abesua de and this child dey bebre I be na wo ye no so ye hu any redundance bia ni nyina o budget ni aban ka so be freeze the public sector and now say omo the public sector no be baba be bi akwa trefi esan say I've been given a hedge the economics if say derivatives ya ma me hedge say ma mintimi enye dey emfa nipa ewo the public sector ni nyina na ehu ni budget mu na lawyer ade ba kwa eye me de pa one of the major economic fundamental ebuama economy ni gina no industrialization into here da bia na we yanom so baulaya aban no eba no otra say adia metimi aboa ama metimi enya the stable economy 1 2 metimi aboa ama me inflation metimi ababenya the single digit inflation no ne fall by pa no industrialization ena aban start here and the bia come say na factory na bi wai na yehu hwe ebia ho no wote ho wo faase bi nya bi enye sa adwuma ni bi anase wunua bi enye sa adwuma but abra abind ba budget ne ba say raw materials ye de ya kradi from anone ebe ye adwuma ewo Ghana as one district one factory no abana you waive a tax na free hono lawyer miano as a living testimony last Thursday after budget no ewie na no me call one factory bia ewo enya so tium enkran omo one of the biggest diapers and then sanitary pad you hono ya omo afa nipa na me koya ne enipa ni bia dey ekodi nkomo even the management omo say sa tax abana wave for the raw materials no senka first omofa ebia 40 feet container ne deba with that tax abana every free hono they are going to add it to their investment capital no makra more said they will expand their business and employ more people na omiyams in a factory and there are so many factories not even limiting themselves to diapers and raw material. There are so many raw materials a buying wevu sa taxes in the free honoma and ne omunyina bede ebe enjoy and we can withstand say budget na ban holistically abamu bia ede ehu atono eyen kakra because economy uduru bria bi na upie ba eyen kakra say obetoto nyoma say de be betimi agina bra no o here last year by this time year on year now our inflation was around 54%. And as I'm speaking to you now, inflation held with 35.1%. In fact, World Bank and IMF predicted say at the end of the year, Ghana will have a growth rate of 1.34%. And as I'm speaking to you now, our growth rate is around 3.1%. And Ubebu say adia abano edi egu akwem ya industrialization ya o can say one district one factory no be. Lawyer, me pese sa de oye you are a living journalist, legend mu one central for all over. As I'm speaking to you now, Ekunfi Juice, they are in over 500 shops in America. As I'm speaking to you now,
Eku Juice.
Eku Juice, good. It's under 1D, 1F. I buy and was starting on the buy. And look at the number of workers that they have employed only on a Kung Fu Juice. Now I'm no say Omoni European Union FDA Dinsa was say a kwanya omususu betimi anya the accreditation and a certificate so musu betimi the import to be ometimi export to be there ako Europe. Now so all the export to ediko Europe it means that your balance of payment you get what a surplus.
Okay.
Yanshe factories are buying of the buyer. Yeah, also we sa taxes. One, we share a garment factory. That is the na ya kofkra. Edi free Singapore, no Malaysia, even your cotton ya and ne oko a year Novena Ketal Garments Limited at Ukaikwi North under one district one factory. Ya omo a year garment. Yeah, and the Ghana of wow mo ye kaftan no munia ina a home call ecofan yo maba. Uhe bibiti say KAD Industries Limited at Accra Metropolitan. Omo adi omo ye say manufacturing of Apple. Yen yako national service. Yeah, the national service for Mkra Kowa. Omo ye apron and tadie industrial apron. Edi biko amanone. Ama omo so ekoton enyebi enso so ewa ha. Uhe bibiti say anoa fabric. Free zones board tema.
On the textile side.
On the textile side. Yes,
waving on that is going to bring
it's going to just and Osabe Bima Abane can say what the commercial electric eyiba. Hey, anumsi mo banani omo mu use
commercial electric then.
Vehicle.
Okay.
Good. Hey, nani ya you use a private, ye de baba bede. You see, lawyer, say, Uko Europe. Na, opese, didn't Europe, the consumption of food on a from pan, say, Abana Tinasia, we say, majority, masses now, moya inano, omuntmia for the car. It is it mean public transport. Ewo hon nase ubie with a cheaper fare. Ebe standard of living required. So therefore, about 90% of tram, street strip, and a buses are being used by energy. It be a solar energy and it be electricity. But you can call your people and check. About 90%. And no ebua ema ozone depleting layer na it reduces. And this abano decide in a bar commercial. Several say STC or the VIP yaba. Ya ni abana kwa ya. Full ebia STC within a week. STC be a better be a 1 million liters no. STC will not going to buy that 1 million liters again. So 1 million liters no, it will be there to be as a surplus.
Okay.
And we all know demand and supply. When there is an excess surplus, the prices of the commodity will go down.
Okay.
And ti abaying in your man what dia bano. Ya you see in dear budget no. Said a year tax. Ya abano a year free new maybe so ever. Because a lawyer, your one diaper company bia ewa na say yes kra na ye no kromwa. I went there and I'm going here. Yes.
Okay.
So okay, yes. And they always are a free eyiba. It's a very perfect competition, but the cost price of always no said a bono then form because of Ifram and neighbor and yes the 100 production so a bono was through instant said here policy rate was through and a cost of production so in subscribe was so it is a buying at
import duty free
on the cost of production of this sanitary pad will go down, and therefore a lot of people will patronize.
Yeah, I see you are more interested in the sanitary pad. So you, let's rest there. I'll come back to you.
Maybe I am Who's the Obama?
Oh, the infants because your interest in sanitary parts no very way. About no chapa on Simadu no back on democracy Jumadi so our Kessben PV Gyantoa Boateng Daxon
lawyer. Now,
then I must say bye budget. Minority in parliament.
Okay, my main begin. Lawyer, sorry, me offer some I was not one trying to tell you. Adubia Justina, happy birthday. Really, what my sister
Adubia Justina.
Papa JJ. Me mau trinkwa. Lawyer, budget we own. It lacks collective ingenuity on the part of the government.
Pacho, and democracy, a country, Pacho.
Oh, Makacho, number of times I say, I've been too many per year. Ghana you free.
Okay.
As my budget. My budget. Usura wali jaya unya wali budget. Aso, mene aso na eko budget. Lawyer, you see, bibi. When we talk about economic prosperity,
Madam for be a friend Mose, or the main country also show.
Okay. You see, when you talk about economic prosperity, it has nothing to do with micro and macroeconomic stability. Rather, it simply refers to the value of the cedi in your pocket. Cedi na show botumo. The ultimate year botumo. Now, anybody who have a better appreciation of economy as an now we Ghana situation here. He will first talk about recovery of the economy. First. So, say, untimi enye bibi sa. Now you are trying to glorify, say, I have projected the economy be do 1 trillion. And so what? It's simply like increasing your assets and your debt is going up. Meanwhile, no, your cotton assets now it can't even pay a car wedding. Exactly what we find ourselves in this country. Share Abaya project is say Obe raise 174 billion. Right. Budget we are here for Monfanche a break version. Papa nyam for details in Palma Inima Alikundia or this internal figures nibino. This only about 294 pages. What the ban this is just a summary. Now Abaya should be raised 176.4 billion Ghana cedis. The two line expenditures, interest rate payment and workers' compensation, is 119 billion. It takes about 52.9% of Abansika Ohene, including taxes and grant. Just two lines. Maybe. 80 so budget at is now will be our deka won't mean you. We have domestic debt arrangement. We have foreign one. Now what my budget when an overrun deficit of Haman 60.1 billion Ghana cedis. Look, what is including about this budget? Even in your distress position, you can't even manage Sikaka Ukra. Obi Audika with this coming abroad. Last year you have budget over. This year it doesn't make sense. No competent economic manager will spend Sikawuni under circumstances you say. Who would do that? Sure, they keep saying the economy is doing very well. Make sure they get to heavy. The sectors I might use economy a cost agri sector a decline, constant decline, 2%. From the records are there. Industry a decline 6%. Manufacturing 5.4%. Services is 4%. When you have this record where a cost even somewhere last week, those in the industry sector they can't even pay their loans, let alone to produce to show up the hot economy. These are the things we need to look at and recover the economy first. Who is against free SHS? We can even go on and invest 20% of your budget. Do you know what it means? What it means is that Senipe Pitimi can't me try or my name be an bit my day. 7 years, you still keep lamenting and will be telling you 2 weeks, no be telling you 1 week. It doesn't matter. What matters most is 7 years later, you introduce a program. Progress being impact being big. And then you force they are sucking and crying because they can't perform. We have a lot of issues. You have basic level, they are not textbooks. There are no textbooks, and you sit here making praise will be 3 years. Yes, we know, but we should make it better. No money here. Nipa na ka ne be ene usu obi nyeska ento gari. Sa lamentation into abayon and change we because we famous stories na we are still not performing. We are still not performing. Moshe did you see entro doors was about we have almost started debt friends domestic one
restructuring.
Can you further say a voluntary? Meboa commonsensical. If it is voluntary, why are you doing it? If it was voluntary, doc, a lawyer and doc, my boy Bushia. Arrangement I'm not enter as a boy because make you in the next 2 years. Remember interest, you know. Since I'm more capacity, you know, to pay you. Why are you calling me to come for a new what arrangement?
No, that's not a condition for
IMF. I'm telling you, say, because you can't say that it's voluntary. And Nema can't say voluntary. And every single fund in Ghana is under what? DD. One control. Because you say, come and do it. And you came and say it's voluntary. Now, pensions fund, one deal, a BR is going what? Under DD. We sit here and we are saying we are making progress. Inflation is dropping to what? 34%. You're not single digit inflation for over 27 months. You're not double digit growth pain or whatever. We need to look at the weakness of economic fundamentals. It is weak. The distinguished speaker. If you find yourself in a debt hole, you don't dig further, you dig yourself out. Or by now, 120 billion. Well, digging yourself out, what digging further, 600 billion. Tell me if I'm lying.
No, but I am in the World Bank say because of COVID, and they also talk about the Russia-Ukraine war. They make what IMF the World Bank for Akana.
My main cousin, IMF for Baha recently. Guy be open my friends a Seguana. Yes, he raised a point. Say economy it doesn't have shock. So Omunya robust. Kodo upon Kroma stood up to rubbish Sadio. But see the weakness in the economy. It is you can't hide it. What's it the COVID? Omu loans before 2020. The only no margin from 2021 to 2022 750 million from EFA after exam. So what it means is that before COVID no margin loans in every. This is the government that one more getting every single line of revenue for government. Bibia one more getting the loans. Now Bob area. No better say in green budget. Edian green. Boy when any sign you need to book transport. You shall have to take so for transport or better car and or the maminchim abedin too many pay young kwai. Ghana cash or Batampa program 100 billion. Where is it? Can you year did Ghana Development Bank long term finance? Why is this? Why is this Kabamao to run your banks? Why didn't see Kabamao to run say Development Bank? Where is the bank? Ghana cash or Batampa friends program 100 billion. Where is that program? Ghana Beyond Aid. Where is it? No, but I say programs we were last year man. You start no. And then I am not can watch them. You see. We should sit and plan as a country. If indeed, say COVID the day we are there, Abrena, can they have the temerity to call everybody onto the table? When I say COVID na my dog, COVID the buy, before COVID the buy, they went and took 200 million cedis from Ghana's stabilization fund. And they decided to say COVID. Yaji 1 billion from where? IMF. Yaji $40 million from World Bank, YGB free EU, YGB free African Development Bank. We raised about 21.7 billion Ghana cedis. The records are there, all my records. Yes, saying 700 revenue gap because of COVID was 8 billion. Now expenditure buying care was 11 billion plus. COVID a trade balance 2 billion. No recklessness I'm only saying sky. No red 15 million Maobi. Moko contact be complain 14 million to educate and on COVID protocols. And they teacher for the better money. You spend the money more this year or this year 50,000, when you're 20, when you're 100. What says can aqua? And then most of the COVID abba justification and one who's cabrel. So this government they lack ingenuity in solving this country's problem because Nema One more and check criticizing President Mohammed. They are cut up of it. Not even as back on. President Mohammed introduced you a friend, Esla. That's about me. It's an additional burden on Ghanaians. All that this government knows is to borrow and put pressure on Ghanaians. We were supposed to pay COVID for Esla for 5 years to remove that debt, and then almost recklessness and almost appetite to borrow and spend the money. You check Esla 20 years. Modi sikabi baby a benyes kafi bia modi agilon. Yenti kroma. Ile video so man kan chen. Sebe solve problem bia. Where is it? About baby Oduno, dog, he has nothing to offer.
Okay.
Bibia ni omu sleep asia on be save economy way than to talk.
Okay.
We should go and sit and plan for this country. We need to plan. Baby Oduno. What the economic fundamentals I am re. Couple with Niama Kosi Nana. Baby Oduno will fit the hard work.
Okay.
The only way out for us is to sit in a round table and plan for this country. Baby, was it all program before 5 I can't 1 year. How can you plan for 4 years? In any case, IMF required it was $910 million an hour. 8 tranches. You received 5. They came and took 3. Give them this can I. Agenda 111. They went and took money from Ghana Infrastructure Development Fund. Tell me if I'm lying. It will be any assign for 300 million. Edit here President Kofo Euro bond. The remaining 200 million. Edit dear Nyamo.
Asobo bi say nwumbre PV Dwantwa aseden e na wonye eye New Patriotic Party aba no ngotwe apawnsima aduasa eye miensa e democracy dwumadie so e wo Kessben ye hwe 2024 budget and she say Minister of Finance or de koto yemra shebadwafo enim na ne nsunsan so a ewo ede emai aban no ebubobubo waivers tax waivers and tax exemptions bi a ode aba aban no eye interventions a aban no ede ba adwumayefo katuasem ode bai wona wodi dwa kofa ne mama no ne esuso ediba kan ese na we expect say taxes do bi wo aban ebeyi free ho aban enyi free ho eno so ho nsem no etise nwumbre democracy jumadi so yede sa ene mai ebrewo ene ebadwafo PV Dwanto Aboating Daxon former presidential staffer under the NDC administration he speaks for the NDC. Mr. Riche Bafo, a government spokesperson on the economy, speaking for the New Patriotic Party. Dr. Enoch Achampon is a senior lecturer, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He speaks for Ghanaians. And Edrura and so Abba Oton Edru. No. Emajo.
Yenia
na bom ti say
nyame na do ahodin bibiri wo
na de wo be pon
ampa akanfo se odwuma do so yini nyina
yenkwe
yo itokos wa echia Ghana for member na Dr. Amuzu eda kwagidie mu se be matiasia ne be ma no enwu enti se wonfie ne ko anim kakra na wiase adwendwen ti ama se bi wonte obema nka de Dr. Amuzu kan se emora ho bibiri menwen boni bibiri amafa ka che se yenye yeje acheri akora wanyine awie wadidi hu awie akra papa bitna empaso kro friends empaso agro emrante adwuma enyolu man for de obeka sa che obi aka nsini hu ka se me se ndu oka na sebi akanfo se be mentwa wo saa na krobofo so se be ma de ben ti ase ne be manwu saa nsemu yi akanfo kan ne wo me krofo kan ne wo me de adwuma me ho adanse bibiri e oga na hanom enti mesrew se if ufie ne kwanim kakra na se be ma na ho de kofo a men can is over is never over na de anti a enye over ne se onyakopon obo e be ma no odintiri nkwa na nwunu ye wan fasa bi dum pense kan se bi ahye babia entine mu yamre na se onya de bi nonom na onya de bi tuetu ya ema hoɔden bam ma sɛbi woyɛ de odie bia no etimi eyeyie enti metra fide kɛseɛ so atonkra ma wiase me nyinaa te sɛ wade no oda na sɛ ontini ka no pa e ma kiri kwan anase wo fie ne ko anim kakra akɔtwetwe mo jabro so abrɛw etiemfo ti ase biom sɛ sɛ obi pressure organs of erection no akoma no ka ho bi nsɛ yadeɛ aka akoma na ɛma bɛma ne sɔreɛ ɛna adwuma yɛ ɛkɔfom enti sɛ wodi akura deɛ sɛ buti yɛ wanya sɛ pressure obi a ono mu a control pressure no but eduro ni side effect na ma sɛ bi obɛma na agi egu doctor muzu sɛ how a tie back I'm not sure say we ba kire no be last person how a tie back hunro wo ho ɛna nso nim deɛ so wo ho ebia na woti memma enam sɛ pɛsɛ sɛ ye mafie yie nti ye mpon dwuma ntem ekufi anadwo ye kwai de kom na ekɔ ebedidi ididi nso na kofa sugar brɛ yɛn sɛ nyanya sugar level nso a ne de oyeni ebrɛ yɛn boni kan sɛ high sugar level destroy the nerves high sugar level kill the cells nerves enu honam we na sɛ so ba bia onya atenka we na sɛ group ba bia na sɛ hu enya no kakra sɛ ba sɛ sugar level no kɔsoro a ema honam ne wu eba saa na baby yeso akwa ne gye no ye be so haguro sɛ unti hwe biom saa na mo buga ho bi kra ya ware ya che me kra de ma sɛ kwa ne metrim biom me kra metimi transe kra afe na ma metrim kwa me kokwa so ni nye yare ni bia oba me mu edro benum ama sɛ bi sugar na ɛwɔ soro no abafom na sɛ bi nerves na asɛ no ebe repair no na tenka foforo aba omuso biom enti e ma wura ho wo ha no ano yi wo ho impre bebre sɛ agya no mu de sɛ bi wo mre yo ba de ete hu pa sɛ te diom de sisi yade obi bano kitapoma obi bana wachia efise sɛ bi wae wala tu wala sɛ dwuma saa makofa sisi yade abre no we di pa saa ma ama ekuro ni haw aba sisi no mu no meme nyina nti ase sɛ sa kan sisi ya na kan obe ma akan sisi anya akan wo sisi no so haw nya ba ho a na akan obe ma no sisi no edi dwuma so no bebre wo oba ne be wanhye mudie mu se oba ne buba no de buhia no se ba se bia yaw wo sisi no mu se ba se kuro abeto sisi no mu a ema ne dwuma die no ekofom be ma be no sisi aloko a owo enije so kokwan so be ma be no wo severe waist pains a owo atenka se bi ohia ne yire nyakopo san bo be ma no odi ntiri nyina so fa sisi enu mu entiti de meka no se wo sisi yade se bi na ama wanya hawan no aba na maboa mema mo severe waist pains no so mo kwakwan so mo te hia how mienu enam say anything sex should be done enjoyably but not painful inti when they go through pains during sex emamu jeje mu tentem na ade a wo ye kura osisi ye oya wo ye nyina wo bre wo te so enema ne mre na efire ebiom sisi ya de enti omu kona obo sisi akodwo kwa mu enti misrew wo sisi ya de abra me wa kwa hodo maako numu a TMP se gitum se sisi ya de mo se de dura ye nom e de sa e de tua de anu odin pa de tore tetew se ya na de dura fam se wachi asen obesore nyame adom india fo so brain fidia obi o severe waist pain shemu a etretre no enti metra kazu fidekasi yeso atu wiase bofima ene mebe nyina nkra se o sisi yade anu oya wo severe waist pain pa mo achi a ochina open asori afonche amuzu herbal clinic akumasi die no e wotafun hia so amuzu junction ye bemoro market tafun hia so amuzu junction near moro market oduru ho na se wo yira manfere me na wa frɛ me number eye 0247 77 6743 0247 77 6743 ochire adwuma no be hia se 10 o'clock be free kweside akoedie efree Monday koedie anopa no so ne ahia adwuma ase na yapon enwumre 6 o'clock saa netie nti ochina eya no pa 10 am to 6 o'clock pm medical kwa asore deeper for enche bia quarter by 9:30 ni apon 10 na matre adwumam na mami central kwa wesu enka cheke mama nya se Onyankopon wachema wedru pa ise meka ne kwa dodo na sebi o ba me hon ma hunsuo asai on ni betra sebi nyizema dia mi ken evidence base doc busi mama ni pa mako 10 a omo mnyizem o motimi afa afura anyinsen the data is there metwimo weba omu a omunkwamu ano ensuo no ebi ni mukura de nail ayamo mwaduranom aba no ma omu ana ebi wom ba na enoso ay na yamo mwadura ne ometua hyese bi oba nyinsen kai se yesi obi ehia wo kopedro ya the word kopedro ya na bibidro miura no kopedro bi nye na wo ye mon kopedro bi nye bibidro yesi kopedro ya parase bibidro dia look nowhere than Amuzu Herbal Clinic. Yen e juma ya for so many years. Inu eri ye juma every for aji atum. Egite no mako 18 every for aji atum e di juma se how bi eni echiri. Enti die ni nkwama ni wo form die bi ni mukura. Die ni bema ni mpeja mpo no de ahye nyinsen no. Dr. Amuzu say hawa ota yenti. Ehunro eni hunim die wo ho. Ochina so open asoria and so ko ndie nenso a quarter by 10 bramem wow na sa ha oni free ho se wo ba na se wo yira fere bie nim no afre me na ma 0247 77 6743 etie 40 asese eye fruity na ebre se ba se bi yefu no wa bre na ya sebo aduane na ye mukro nti untimi ni ya no ya bregu wenti na Amuzu Herbal Clinic akofa Amuzu K Herbal meshedi aba se oye furu mututu emu wo emu kekao emu sanfro kura bamu a kwana kopa Amuzu K nenom onya num ebeko Herbal shop biara wadwuma no emidie ni bia eye wala se adwuma onya ko ye wi a na to no hunam yaw wanko hye so akombediu mekai bra wo se eti koko edu ko bra no rest se hunam yawo so pa edro betimi dia ya adwuma aye painkiller aye organic how be any achire Amuzu P Herbal mixture Amuzu P Herbal mixture oledi olumai ufie ne ku anim kakra no akotwetwe sabra abrɛw akofa ututu abrɛw Amuzu P ese adwuma no na ewo Herbal shop biara mu na de make nyina se Africa for de ene west of for de ye climate no ebua magba tuntum nyini
okay
se biya nyini ne bia bewewa no anya malaria na helps na nyago polo Africa for no wanu ebi anom ebi na manu a matu di Amuzu Herbal mixture for malaria
okay
wonya no mu ebeko enyuno kakra enti amunu amyomani won se homra nya nyuna de no mu ntoso
okay
ya na complain do so doctor we de nyuno do misere ma sheda pa se o ma na nkomu a etimi tumere na ase Amuzu garlic empenifo adru o hwe na se na ho ede maw wo to ase twetwem stroke pese ebonka ya na wape Amuzu garlic no anom sami nro mako na die media peti Herbal shop biara mu
okay
umasi ha ukodani Herbal Misty Herbal apidan ko momrum Ikof Colin omo Ashtown Accra monko kanshi dragly na nabuache ho Kenswalk Tinatet Repash and Halus omu nyina no omu tubi esenton bi mako upe sami no nan kwon semise bia na ma ofre no de agin chirechire mu no eye 0247 77 6740 lawyer meda wasi bibiri
you are acquitted and discharged Dr. Amuzu ena enwumbre o hwe na etie no ewo eye democracy jumadi so ewo Kessben o se endupa ni nyina obema bi no wanya apomden ene de chichire oman ya to democracy jumadi no so e de free amenko Dr. Enoch Achampon enchen na yenko the final so doc ya tieti both sides and ya read preliminary way your impression about the budget itself. Now, you expect to say debates ebe koso ebi I see next week. Ombe debates we go. And then na ebia we expect to say yeah we call 2024 with this budget, you know, ebe boy ebe as people.
As people know the budget biya won near emi se ebe achieve. Enti me say me hwe ade ba ko a budget ni mu me hwe eyese enka ebra or the introduction of waiver no sa taxes no, because you see foreign countries no more cost of production is very low, so we waive tax wa ha na importation cost wa ba still local factories ni bebre. That is one thing I have seen, because you see Obama waiver not all right on be producing at what cost. Na so ma kwan ma still na foreign companies na deba maybe they nan come who say a nice way strategy. However, and they should have gone beyond it. Now come we increase taxes on importation of those products, because the aim is to encourage local production.
Na no enye sika yan for no atwa two ways. Say one hwe ye so na local production so entumi endum pempen so obetumi produce so much to meet the local demands. Now we increase import duty so much, then we burden majority of the people who use that product, because the bono so be cost do level bia ordinary Ghanaian no cannot buy. So ordinary Ghanaian no to me enter, then or a public sector worker will start agitating for higher salaries, then it also put pressure on the so like a balancing actor whatever step you are taking, no, but the balancing actor
but lawyer on say here we the car production car assembly right from the beginning buying in this idea they say or we investors amoma be assemble car, what has been the cost of these cars? Because yeah the tax wave animal almost still production ni womo enioma no prices ni was so say ya abe electric cars in ya dia be nice policy, but who is going to police them? So am the bar taxes ni so nti na say prices ni come from no be atimi nya bito ena na ya na ka
obi atimi nya bito
wa wo pese utobie no based on wa hoden ka obetimi atobie because e basa as Ghanaians any attitude abang bed the policy beba or better taxes so ye beba je so ye be say, but at the end of the day what will be the impact on the ordinary Ghanaian? And you want say factory owners ni we no omo be we no, they will give other excuses, because on also be catch say enye tax na nkwa cost of production obetua electricity obetua na workers car obeye say into obema reasons bebre obe we no na tax number. All right,
the case say one use those who assemble vehicles have, for instance, say because of more competition was system no say idea ye wave tax more we enanka omo produce a vehicle enanka de boa wo de gisese and say ko betimi asen ate so enanka obe produce more na more people better enanka omo profit margin no be cost. I don't you think senka they being in business some person omo maximize profit no ko omo beti so bia betimi atom no omo nya more profit, but they bia behwe no na senka enye waiver na edade no so a nanka wo be wie no na ne bo no adru level bia nka wo de kra ba ya nanka ye cheaper enti no we na at least na mana do level bia wo so all produce or ha na assemble ha or employ microphone no, you also get to enjoy some taxes and other things to balance any.
Yes, but the point is that any part of those itimi are 40.
Okay,
that is the bottom line. Budget ni mu the messages mpanimfo hwe especially your market in many other sectors on say abasi in waivers ni beba there, but yen hwe other sectors bibi say food production any these consumables no how ni be see a moderate market no such that and for home be high warm.
Okay,
my last issue on the budget Oshe social spending is on housing.
Okay.
So the days you are government say in 2024 they will commence affordable housing. Lawyer, me from where I sit, my development and health kakra. Until me, I don't subscribe to this affordable housing thing.
Okay.
Unim di intia. Omampeni kufu besi affordable housing ukumase ha. Ewa asokore mampom. Change of government by da hama government for by obi wiye no. Go there and ask the price of the so-called affordable housing. Is it indeed affordable? Yet the state resources ABC dine. Yebeji loan in the name of the country. No, the ordinary citizens nanke say affordable housing. Ebeba beboa wo no. Obi entimi ntua enya bi. Empanifo na besache. Ukọ asokore bamponsisi a chamber ho single room ni ad me namfo bi ti onum the last time I caught sra no. O say ni chamber ho manti bia otua 1500. Ghana hanipa dodo say na ye adwuma obetimi atua rent 1500 cedis a month, but here the state resources they see here see they demand the ordinary citizens near busi accommodation deficit. Sagleme project ya ebi wo court the intimi pese meko, but I can tell you say sagleme project nka government win ewie ya enke besa kudi mpanimfo na asem citizens na omoye ordinary citizens no mo sentimi nka. Why don't we focus on establishing factories produces cement na akosoro steel companies ni ade se na be ya prices ni be kofom na nya lantern system mortgage nya ade a enkofo betimi ato asase na young guy a wa start ono betimi start ni
individualistic house no so say ukukuru bia advance am fa no nchichiri kuro ebe kakra asase no hemfa de single houses no
Segana has senka ye betimi esi sa affordable housing no ne ye bewie ebe ko citizens ne ho a
we can manage it ana
enka da bi o ebe wi a ahia no ni ade na yesi ama wo mdodo se na benya
that's doc a very provocative statement. Now we have only 6 minutes, so what we are going to do is I have also messages to read.
Wow.
So yeah, so what I'm going to do, people, I don't like the way we are looking at it. What I'm going to do is say maybe chama mo forget about messages and I know what to, but maybe chama mo 3 minutes na then we'll come to it. Okay.
Yes, lawyer, I think say Dr. Ikana clear no.
3 minutes.
Yes, 3 minutes. Yes, I just want to do justice to about on it. Yes, you see, economy be our building now we introduce any program and our policy be a substitute no untimi abolish free, and I believe I'm happy say utimi a clear Dr. Ho Emane etiase. And then with the car issue no so no. Initially, no, so more in assembly can we have say, ya no say to import duty crack and pay the budget nearby. No, a binance way is import duty the every honor to assembly. We are ultimately call eco talker. They said the Okoto free showroom without even pay the import reading. So it means that the cost of bringing the car money in will even be high than purchasing the car locally. And only policy are mind about. And now, me papa penny now. Or can assembly, and we know say where we are all here. Students will be here, and we need always to educate ourselves. You see, no can say macro economy no, and yeah no na yeah the chichire or mine money lawyer. See, I can macro economy the programs and policy that determine the livelihood of the ordinary Ghanaians. That is the micro that determines it, and they determine PPP currency. No, that is the purchasing power parity. Timbese me papa penny. And two, now all can be said the agri sector is declining, and it's never true. Please, we are not the agri sector, it's not declining. Go and check World Bank report. Go and check Bank of Ghana report. People are listening. And Mr. Koche, sure. Read it. I've given you the source. Go and read. So Ghana, as I'm speaking to you now, we have a growth rate of 6.2% on agri sector. But you can't come and sit here.
It keeps declining.
Oh, Chairman.
1 minute.
Industry sector. Industry sector has grew 3.2%. But you sit here telling us, and every strong or robust economy beyond in the financial sector. And as I'm speaking to you now, per Bank of Ghana report, June by 2023, the banking sector has grew 21.21% with a deposit amount of 242.4 billion Ghana cedis. But you sit here telling us, I mean, we know. So we are facing challenges and you remember heading. But compare our worst situation in government cannot even be compared to NDC. NDC in 2016, you were growing in the agri sector 0.1%.
Maybe that's your 3 minutes is up. PV, you have 3 minutes.
Monsieur Montrono Mukano, Omunyaido, Monsieur, Canofrata will bring the whole detailed budget and the indices are. Friends, a growth rate, you know, free about 3 years back. Not yet, but you know, Messi, agri sector, manufacturing sector, services, Nina, a decline. Oh, please, don't interrupt me. William, was say Ohene Gyan. Dr. Baumia can say the highest investment that have gone up north was $1 billion for Palugu Dam. 7 years. Where is the state of that Palugu Dam? More flashy projects now, ABI is not performing. Planning for food and jobs. A failing. We still import food. Wait. Moshe planning for food and jobs. But we are growing positive. Positive from where? Oh, don't interrupt me, Massa. Messe, Abanwe, collective ingenuity, about you want to encourage local production, right?
Planting for food and jobs. My example. Honorable and Kwame Appiah Kubi. On a member of parliament for Asante Achim South.
Look, now from a time.
No, don't worry. Wodua bodia ma the bodia no under planting for food and jobs no. We twa bodia na omo befa bi kra de Burkina Faso.
My cancer.
Body o bebre.
Oh, to boss. When what's my okay? Who will believe you?
I don't know who believe me.
Didn't tell me you.
Babo member of
No,
parliament.
the first.
Madam for a fact.
Lawyer. You excel and break me to know koto body the big heaven. When it is done government. The system is working now. It is the job of the agreement to go and purchase their friends bodies of Overton because you see, Lord, this is a better program now. Anyhow, my main cancer, I'm sure. Share. 1D1 FI engagement and management. One, the approach, the agenda was correct. The approach was wrong because being to me manufacture the or being come and find a Emma. So you need to find a common ground for the importers. One also can wear then share Santi party, Sabano in friends ingenuity. What they remove tax then everyone. What is your plan to even show up the local production maybe in the next 2 years? Guilty. Be anymore. You put your cash on the table. Say, me penny pon bet my produce way. This is my incentive for you. Ne 5 years be a producer na person say a 7 month 8 million and 7. There is no plan.
No, that's our plan. No, the plan, no, but meticulous detailed plan. You cannot find it in the budget. But after say budget, no, implementation.
Look, what can't you? You bet my answer. What he gave free. Asa, begin hobby.
No, but the way no intent to.
Intent.
Parliament will have to.
I mean, one number of factors. Look, it is very clear. These factors are almost being at least. We should have seen the sectoral performance as against what? GDP.
Okay, thank you very much.
Where is it?
Thank you very much.
Nothing to show.
Thank you very much.
Except to say, where was it banking center there? Of course, one kind paragraph 136. No. What? Was it? Was it? Recapitalization of what? Banks. Government and World Bank will recapitalize banks through.
Well, you are not free microphone. No.
Was it? Government and was it recapitalization of bank? Government and World Bank will recapitalize banks through Ghana Financial Stability Fund and financial sector with a 10 billion to enable aggressive financing to private world sector. It is very clear. Say after some financial sector what reforms. If it was successful, Why do you even have to think of recapitalizing the banks? 2. My example, CBG. Right? What for banks then? 5. Now the one then CBG. You only capitalize the bank with one bank, Debaya. Minimum capital requirement. How the bank perform?
Okay, PV Medas, thank you very much.
7 years. 7 years. Digitization. Over average, countries now will be raising tax GDP about 20 and 22%. For 7 years, you free 11 to 15. Now his projection say or being increased by 1.8 this year. Where is it?
I want no crop on.
You can't be raised revenue.
You know, I would democracy you are this so cousin. Look, 1 second. 1 second.
With the American says, honorable PV. And a message of Senka and NDC MPs Nankasa. Na se omo na budget na mwa anka mo me approve.
Look, you see, look only
okay.
There are some positives.
Okay.
Also one second. The doctor can no yam de be mo an say NDC the papa no mo be. E di fear say chess but me the court in good.
Okay. Me nyina ase. Enyumbre wetie Mr. PV Dwatso wetie Dr. Enoka Champong and I wetie Eric Chey. But for what I will do is say I will read messages. May Elizabeth 2 minutes. Let me read messages. Few messages. You're so okay. Plantain wasn't part of the planting for food and jobs. Why? Okay. We'll be trying to pack out plantain and cow. Okay. But that's it. Thank you, lawyer, and educating program. Keep it up, lawyer. The leaders should take key notes of your program. Okay. Thank you for that message. He also says that I humbly greet you and your panelists. In fact, the Nkunim budget has been delivered with full of hope, he says. Producelo, he says. Okay. This one says the lawyer told the NDC man that the budget is called Nkunim budget because we have turned the corner. That is why the finance minister has worked hard to bring inflation down from 54.1% to 30.5%. Thank you also for your message. Teacher Kujo from Tepa Susu says I can't compare NDC to MPP when it comes to projects. Though there are hardships in the country, NDC will never come near MPP in terms of development. Thank you for your message. This one says, good evening to you, lawyer. My name is Wafa Badu of Kuchi. The NDC man is talking like former President Mahama has not been a president before, he says. Now, this one says, okay, teacher Kudu says, ex-President Mahama and his NDC have no message, and the good people of Ghana are going to show them their final record December 2024, he says. This one says, good evening to you, lawyer. There's a comment so discussing that Ghanaians must be much careful about that. According to the NDC, during Mahama time, things were moderate than now, but they must understand that if John Mahama and the NDC were to be in power by now, the CD to the dollar will be bought for 30 cedis for $1, he says. Now this one says, my name is Muhammad from Boko. I am a PP person, but I like PV. Okay, PV, good one for you. I need PP person acknowledging you. You won't even listen. Somebody said, good evening to you, lawyer. But tell them we have talked too much. So implement the create something and stop the perfect lectures, he says. This one says, good evening to you, lawyer. I'm Kofi Beck, watching you live from Tonso. Looking at the current global economic crisis, Ghanaians will be eating human flesh if Mahama were president at the time. This one says, Kwame Awoche Sefshi Bekwai. Okay, since I thank you, lawyer. This year's budget, which is dubbed Nkunim budget, it's deserved that appellation. In fact, the budget of hope and deserving, he says. Greeting other people. Unfortunately, I cannot because my time is up and I have to run away from here. Okay. So on behalf of the producers, thank you PV Jantua Boateng Daxon. Thank you Dr. Enoch Achampong. Thank you Eric Shea Bafo. Thank you Professor Sma Sapong. Thank you my producers for this wonderful program. Medenge de Ohene Gyan Makramo. Yankoponya Adumana Ochi Sende. Besan Besome wo Kessben. Democracy Jumadis. Yankopon Enkamo.
Living in the world, my sister. But you live in this world. You living in the world.